Hi everyone, my name is Avery Henderson. I'm in the medical biochemistry course with Dr. Sengupta. Like I said in my last video, I'm still a post-baccalaureate undergrad. Still trying to get into med school, still haven't gotten in yet, haven't gotten my MCAT score back yet. So patiently awaiting that. Anyways, we'll jump right into it. So for Unit 4 case connections, I chose to do case number 3 and case number 4, or case number 2 and case number 3. Okay, so we'll dive in with case number 2. Basically, 4-day-old infant presenting with PKU, phenylalanine levels pretty high, no family history of PKU. Alrighty. So as a consequence of the presentation of PKU, which amino acid may become essential? Tyrosine. Tyrosine will become essential. Let's see here. So what are the potential causes of the presentation of PKU? The problem in PKU is the deficiency in the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase or in its cofactor BH4. This unit catalyzes the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine. So in PKU, if there's a problem with either the cofactor or the enzyme, that unit is not going to work correctly. You have to have fully functioning, cofactor and enzyme to be able to catalyze the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine. So that is why tyrosine becomes essential, because it's not that you're missing the phenylalanine, it's that we can't convert the phenylalanine to the tyrosine. So tyrosine will become essential. That's something we're going to have to obtain some other way rather than just in the body. So whether it's diet or some kind of medicine or something, tyrosine will become essential. Alrighty. So, they did a BH4 loading test on 2 different patients, and 2 different results came from that. So what does this graph mean to me? So obviously patient A, the levels of phenylalanine rise. So to me, this means that there's a phenylalanine hydroxylase deficiency. And in patient B, the levels fall, which means that there is a BH4 deficiency after they add the BH4. So BH4, like we said, is the cofactor for phenylalanine hydroxylase. If we give the patient BH4 and the problem is fixed, then that just means that they were deficient in BH4, because BH4 is required to break down phenylalanine, but these are not the case. So when the levels of the phenylalanine rise, the person has a deficiency in phenylalanine hydroxylase. When the levels of phenylalanine fall, then there's a deficiency in the BH4 cofactor. So, moving on. Case 3. So, all right, so this is about a 47-year-old man presenting with gout. As we can see, these levels here in the table, the plasma urate levels are high. The urinary uric acid levels are low, meaning that the levels in the body are both above normal. The urinary uric acid is not being secreted as it should be, obviously explained by the testing done. So let's see here. Okay, so what is the best explanation for the presentation of gout in this individual? The patient's plasma urate levels are high, but the urinary uric acid levels are low. This suggests to me that the decreased urinary excretion of uric acid means that the levels in the body are above normal because they're not being secreted as they should be. If the patient had an overproduction of purines or decreased salvage of purines, then the levels would be greater than normal. The levels of urinary uric acid would be greater than normal. So the fact that the urinary uric acid levels are lower than normal automatically, to me, eliminates those two potential causes. So like we saw from this table over here, the urinary uric acid levels are very low, meaning that the levels in the body are very high. So, and also, not to mention, an overproduction of purines or a decreased salvage of purines also, to me, makes me think that essentially that would be doing the same thing in the body. There's going to be a buildup of the purines. So that's why that makes sense to me. So the best explanation has to be that there's a decreased urinary excretion of uric acid, which was pretty much just demonstrated by the table and the levels that were found. Okay. So additional information that would be helpful to know about this patient, it would be very helpful to know his list of medications. It would be helpful to know if he is generally healthy or if he has any other chronic medical conditions. There are risk factors for gout that include, diabetes, obesity, dyslipidemia, and those can all contribute to a gout flare up. So it's also another risk factor is of the male sex, so it would be helpful to know his medical history, any, basically just like a good general medical history. Hypertension is also a risk factor for gout, so it would be helpful to know his vital signs and previous vital signs. An attack of gout can commonly occur after diuresis, which could have been caused by the patient drinking all of that sugary soda. It would be helpful to know if the patient has any enzymatic deficiencies, particularly in the salvage pathway, which can usually be diagnosed with just a blood test. The healthcare provider can order a blood test, testing for the right things, obviously. It would be helpful to know if the patient has had any recent surgeries or traumas, that those can also increase the risk of developing gout or a gout flare-up. So after speaking with the patient, he tells you that he recently switched from diet soda to regular soda because he saw that the fake sugar in diet soda was really bad for you. So he tells us he drinks between 4 and 5 liters a day. That's crazy. Anyway, so what's the potential impact of this dietary modification in the presentation of the gout? So due to the patient drinking an excessive amount of soda, of the soft drinks with very high levels of fructose or high fructose corn syrup, this puts him simply at risk for diabetes and obesity, which we just explained were risk factors for gout. The fructose actually, and this is probably more of a reason or a bigger impact on the gout. Fructose will increase the uric acid levels in the body. The high sugar content will lead to osmotic diuresis. And we just said diuresis is another risk factor for gout. So the fructose or fructose metabolites can also compete with some of the uric acid transporters, which will decrease the excretion of uric acid. And we just said uric acid, like a buildup of uric acid, is also another risk factor for gout. So if the fructose or fructose metabolites are competing with the uric acid transporters and they outcompete them, then obviously there's going to be a buildup of uric acid, which is what is going to cause the gout. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of different things that could have caused it. But I think, the fructose and all the soda drinking, that probably did not help his situation whatsoever. So I will go ahead and attach my script. I will attach my works cited if you guys want to take a look at that. This was probably, I enjoyed this case connection the most, actually. It was fun to kind of figure it out. And yeah, so best of luck to everybody. I know this was the last case connection we will do. So best of luck to everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the course. Very interesting. And everybody have a great weekend.